So you do kind of depend on the client to present the layout before it gets to the stream.
Try this link then and see what it looks like. And we'll see what's actually being mixed and not mixed. Yeah, it's already live on YouTube. So let me see how much latency it has. So if I go to one image here, let me see. There it goes. One image, two image.
It's a few seconds behind.
Yeah, but it's whatever's on the canvas is what it's doing.
Exactly.
So the mixing is happening where? It's happening on the client right here. The mixing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So all they're doing is capturing this here.
Yeah.
But the quality is, I think the quality is pretty stinking good.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me see which of you guys has the best camera. I mean, yeah, it's almost nearly as good as and it's doing it in 720. So YouTube is recognizing the stream as 720. When I've tried with other companies, they usually will do like 360 or 480 because YouTube detects what's coming in and then it gives you that. In this case, it's giving me 720. Ati, your camera is not the best.
Oh, thank you.
It's okay. Just let you know. But I mean, it's almost what you see in it is almost literally what you see in the other screen is you're getting there.
Yeah.
And then
see, even that overlay, that powered by StreamYard overlay, that's all done in HTML, and it's getting captured in the canvas.
And what's the badness of that?
No, for me, I'm okay with that. I think that's the way to go for me. But I think it was Urosh at first who had mentioned that you're starting to depend on, if you depend on the client, then it's like another point of failure. If they have issues on their machine, then you're killing the entire stream or something like that. Whereas if you are on the server end, once you hit the stream button, if you close your client, it's still going to be streaming. So that's, yeah, just another point of failure.
Say that one more time. If you close your browser.
Yeah, so if we're doing it the other route where MediaSoup is routing an entire stream to JW Stream itself in the server side, then if something happens catastrophically on my client side, my machine shuts down or whatever, that doesn't affect the stream. The stream still carries on. The brother's giving his talk, everyone's still getting him. But if I, as the AV operator, if my machine shuts down for some reason, then that affects everyone. It will kill the program for everyone else. On the HLS side, on the HLS side though, not necessarily. Well, if you think about it, if you're capturing the element, the canvas from your client, that's what's being streamed. Then if you don't capture it, or if your client closes, then you stop capturing it, right? Because it's basically creating an additional unique stream. It's just a mixed output. And that mixed output is coming from your client. The same way my webcam is coming from my client, you're sending a mixed output, basically, of what you see.
I'm going to try this and see how this works here. I'm sharing the video, and I want to see what YouTube looks like.
It would be interesting to test it though. Like if you literally just close this tab, we know you would disappear, but would the rest of us still be in the call? And would it still be streaming to YouTube?
And it looks really good. The video quality is like it's very acceptable on YouTube. Even on YouTube, it's very acceptable. Okay, so what do you want me to do? I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to leave the studio. No. Well, let me just try leaving the studio, and then I'll try cutting the broadcast. like closing my browser. So first, I'm just gonna leave the studio and see what happens.
Okay.
I'll see here. I can see the video on YouTube.
Okay. So he clicked leave studio. I don't even know what that does. What does that mean when you leave studio? But in any case, it's being streamed. So it means
Can you guys hear me?
Now we can hear. Yeah.
It didn't stop it.
yeah.
And you know, I think we have some advantages doing this. We don't need this now, but give us some flexibility to in the future maybe use titles, do some effects and so on. So we may not need it now, but in the future.
This is amazing, though. I mean, I can leave the room and then the meeting starts and it's still on YouTube.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's interesting. What happened when you clicked leave studio? Where did you go?
It went back to the landing page,
Huh.
and it says enter broadcast again.
That's good.
Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave studio, and I'm gonna close the browser,
Okay.
or close the tab. There you go.
Okay, he's left
Yes.
studio.
Other friends are also streaming, kind of this, torrent thing. How we share in the stream. I know because this makes no sense. He leaves, but we can still see in YouTube.
That's amazing.
This is super cool.
Yeah, that's very interesting. How is it doing that?
And a torrent streaming thing.
I close
I
the
think it's
tab.
the Google magic.
I close the tab and everything.
It's what Alex loves.
The only thing I can do. Can you hear me? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
The only thing I can do that's left. I mean, I left the studio. I closed the tab. The only thing I can potentially do is close the browser.
Try that.
Okay. See what it takes to break it.
Yeah, let's see. Let's go for it.
I was talking yesterday to Johnny, and I told him that we need to take the Google API for everything: casting, playback.
The only problem with Google is what Byron mentioned. They just drop a project and you're done.
But everything what they still use is good. I like it. So in YouTube you have so many nice comments, or double tap is jumping.
You know when we need to use YouTube as we stop using Akamai and we start using YouTube, or maybe as a backup, we stream to Akamai and as backup we stream to YouTube.
Danny, 3 seconds delay.
Yeah, that's
It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
And it's generating all the qualities for us in real
What did
time.
we buy YouTube? How much? Oh, say the number. Say the number.
So it never ended.
Nope.
So
That's amazing.
my question is, when do you end the broadcast? Because I have the end broadcast button. Do you guys see an end broadcast button?
No, haven't.
No.
Oh, you can share your screen.
Mhm.
It lets the participants share their screen.
Oh, Chrome has a bug.
Where's Byron?
I don't know. Lost them. Are you guys on Mac? You're all
I'm
on
on
Macs?
Windows.
I'm on Windows too. Byron, you back?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I had to bring you back into the group.
Yeah, sorry. I clicked to remove myself from stream, and then I couldn't put myself back.
What about trying to share your screen? Does anybody see share screen? Can somebody try?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
And it allows to share with audio as well.
Okay, I see you see it adds it as an input. So I just
Oh.
added it to here, you see?
Cool.
This is ridiculous. This is
That's pretty
absolutely amazing. Now, we just need to figure out how these people did it, because this is exactly what we need. This is unbelievable.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how is it capturing your screen. It's adding it as a source to this video. Bandwidth wise, it's using a meg.
What?
Yeah, I'm receiving a meg. A meg.
This is
Yeah.
too good to be true. Come on. This is not right. Where's the catch? Come on.
And the button to add to screen and remove to stream is just a little thing you hover over. It says remove from stream, add to stream. I mean that's all it is. Remove from stream, add to stream. I find that to be super clean and intuitive.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, it bumped up to 2 megs now that I have all of your videos. I can right click on the video. Oh, I can right click on each one of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I can mute Danny's mic from within the browser, within the images. So like the main stage, I have actions that I can take.
Oh wow. Yeah, we don't have right-click actions on our side.
Basically, the right-click actions, the actions you got below, I can do them inside, so I can solo you, and I can exit solo. Yeah, that's really, really amazing. It really is. Yeah, this is a very, very good app. Well, try to see if you guys can figure out how they're doing it.
Okay, I have to jump on.
Yeah. Byron and Nancy, check it out. See, try to get some, do they have open source? Is there code anywhere? I mean, all of this code would be in the browser because you can't hide it,
Right.
But see if there's anything we can find about, are they using MediaSoup? But because the quality is very good, the screen sharing is very good, the YouTube, I mean, it is almost exactly what we need.
Yeah, I'd say so.
The problem we had yesterday a little bit with the presentation is there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I feel with the pin view and the participants view and the grid view, I think there's just a lot going on. This I find to be a lot cleaner, a lot simpler. The other thing too is a lot of the guys were thinking of it as a mixer. So some of them are like, well, what if we just had 4 inputs at the bottom, and then you can change the sources of those inputs, and then you can call them up to the to the stage, which is also true because then that way you only have 4 or 6 inputs, and then from your right panel, you can queue up, put on input 2, put on input 1, but that is not super easy either because it's like a mixer. But a mixer normally you have 2 people running it. You have one person running the switcher and then one person running the videos. So one guy queues up the videos for input 1, and then the other guy can take input 1. So he's switching. Normally you don't have more than one video source in the case of a file. So you're feeding from JW library, but you have somebody sitting there playing those videos, and then you're capturing that. You know what I mean? So that's normally how a mixer works, but that's a 2-person process. That's a person on a computer that's feeding videos into the switcher, and then that's a person on the switcher that's switching between camera and that video source, and that adds some complications to all of it because it's not really meant to do it that way. Same with another one was vMix. We said we kind of wanted to do vMix because you can line up your things. You can decide how you want to do them. And then put them all in one order, which we kind of liked, So that was another thing. Another one they brought up is hotkeys. You should have hotkeys on the keyboard so that you can just go 1, 2, 1, 4, which is true, but it is not user friendly. It's not easy to do. You're not going to do it on a tablet. And then you have to map all of your buttons. Input 1. What do you put on input 1? So to me, this is not a mixer. This is not a hardware mixer. And in the meeting, it was like, let's try to see if we can turn it into that, which I understand. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I just didn't feel it scaled personally. I felt that it should be more like vMix where you can queue things up. In my opinion, personally. We're going to have to remove the raise hand feature because we shouldn't have had it in there. There is no raise hand feature for circuit assemblies. That was a mistake on our part. So we're going to take that all out. there was different things that we saw, like the speaker. Where does the speaker go? Where does this video go? In my case, it's it's always the first one, or it's always in the participant list. But that now you're a source that you're having to deal with when you really might not need to deal with yourself, because you're just the AV operator. So where do we stick the preview? We had stuck the preview between the stage and then the little preview window and then the side panel, the right panel. But then that threw out the whole formatting of everything. So that looked kind of weird. So we really couldn't figure out where to put your video, which you need to see, but not necessarily as important because maybe you're not doing anything. So why do you need to see it so much? The pinned, if you have more than 2 rows, do you show more than 2 rows? Do you scroll those? Do you limit how many items can be pinned if pinned is wanted? So those are a lot of the questions that we got yesterday.
Good points. Yeah, those are good points.
So I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Interesting. But yeah, that's an interesting idea. So are we saying that if we use this workflow, you could just have your desktop as one of the inputs that you can switch to and back? So in other words, I'll share my screen, but not to the public, just as an input. It's just there until I select it, then it goes live. Exactly. And then when I want to play a video, I'll just throw JW Library on. Well, I'd first have to do it in the app itself. So you might see my app for a second, and then I'll need to switch to JW Library or VLC or whatever. And then
if you've already done it before the meeting starts, then nobody sees it because it's clean. Because ideally, that's when I thought of, because this scales for a congregation. You share your second display and you see it as a source on your mixer, and then if you place a video on your second display, our app should detect as a video and it automatically switches to that source. That's what we had wanted to do. So your second display would always be seen on your bottom bar as your options if you want share one. So that works good for congregation meetings when all you're sharing is JW Library. It doesn't work good when you have other content. Now, do I change that source to a file? So one idea was just have one media source, one media input, and then you just change what you feed it. So you want to put a picture up, you throw it into that, and then you throw it onto the stage. You want to put a video in, you throw it into that, you put it on the stage. You want to share second screen, you throw it into that, you put it on the stage. So the idea was just have one media source, and then you can feed that source whatever you want. Which is an interesting idea. You couldn't queue everything up. You would have your media tab, technically. So you could pin everything in your media tab, or maybe not even pin, but in your media tab, you could be able to sort. On your right panel, when you click on media, sorry, Ati. When you click on media on your right panel, your right participants, maybe all of those media sources, maybe those are draggable. Where you can sort them, and it's kind of like a pin state, but on the right side, and then you only have on your bottom, your pinned section, you only have media once. That's it, and then you just simply change that one, and then that's the one that goes to stage. And then now it's another picture. I drag in the picture to there. Now I put it on the stage. So you just kind of queue it up and then throw it up from there.
Right.
I personally find this approach very interesting, and it's somehow the same what you have in all this kind of conferencing systems, because you need to prepare something and then share it. You prepare it on the bottom.
But in our case, we wanted to prepare them all on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, it's only have one media, and then you just prepare that one, and then that one goes up for media, not for videos. For videos, you could still have multiple video people, but for media, and that's the other thing I'm thinking is, how many people are you going to want to pin? Do you want to line up everybody? You want to line up the whole assembly, or do you want to basically line up the 3 or 4 people that are coming? So you might have your chairman. You always leave your chairman there, and then maybe a couple speakers, that you have lined up. You removed one speaker, you add another one. You removed another speaker, you add another one. You don't have to have a ton of participants lined up. Because that was my point from the beginning is now I have 16 things pinned, but I have those same things on my right panel. So it's like we're duplicating a ton of information. The other concern is, can we display that much data? Are we physically able to support having all of those views? And it's a very good question. It's a very good question. So for me, what I took out of it is all of it has to be simpler.
Yeah.
But this is super simple. Can you drag stuff? I don't think you can drag stuff. No, it doesn't let you drag. Yeah, it doesn't let you drag your bottom things. This is very, very simple. I mean, it really is. And so I have my second display queued up and it's ready to go, and then boom, I add it to stream. Or if I wanted to do the whole stream, boom, it's everything.
That is cool.
I mean, that's really, really good. What we could do too is we could allow for maybe 2 media sources, like a mixer, media 1, media 2, and then you can do multiple cameras, camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. Because that's literally how a mixer works. You have camera feeds and you have media feeds. So we can say four cameras. So you can square up your 4 cameras, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they can be chairman, speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, or it could be, for example, in this case, it could be 2 participants. So you have an interview, and you can put them side by side, so you can have 4 camera views, and then you can have 2 media views. And then you basically just queue up what you want. You take it, you go from there to the stage, and then when you're done, you change those sources. But then your pin section is very simple. It's participants and media. Or basically, if we want to do it just like a mixer, camera and media.
Yeah, that sounds. It matches what we do at conventions anyway, so that's good. If we're thinking about a single screen setup, though, if someone's using a laptop and they are AV operator and they will also be doing the media, so they're doing everything.
Yeah.
Handling participants, handling media.
Yeah. In that case, I feel that if you only have one screen, just like in this app, when you're running the meeting, it gives you tooltips saying, hey, FYI, if you screen share and you have your audio, people are going to hear themselves twice at home. It gives you little things. In this case, to me, if I'm serving as it and I try to choose share screen, it's going to say you only have one screen. It's probably best for you to share a file.
Okay, but how do we share a file?
Well, in our case, we already know we can share a file with MediaSoup because we can FFmpeg it into the stream.
Right. So yeah, I was thinking of a browser only. I thought we were trying to see if we can get all of this done within just a browser.
Oh, okay. We're back to the browser only thing. Yeah, I understand what you mean. So how do I share a file? Well, one thing you can do if you're only on one screen is you can share an application, but applications don't have audio. Applications don't have audio. So you can't do that. I mean, we can share, I don't know, can you share a file? I haven't tried. Let me see. I don't think you can. It has branding, upload background, upload overlay, brand color. It has banners. I can make banners, and it has comments. It doesn't have anything else.
So it seems like the only way they could do it is if they have like a dedicated tab for media. So that's their media input, for example. They just drag a file in there and they share a tab with audio.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, which is not super good, but it would potentially work.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be a browser solution. Let me try it. I can try it right here. I'm going to share a screen. I'm going to do a Chrome tab. I'm going to do audio. Hold on. I need to get a video in there. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. All right. So I queued up a video. I'm going to share screen. I'm going to do a Chrome tab. I'm going to do the video. I'm going to share audio. And there you go.
At 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 3, Jehovah is described as the God of all comfort and God of tender mercies.
It's good audio
The
quality.
biblical understanding of the word comfort in this context. It
Stereo.
literally means calling to one
I'm going to go
side,
ahead and spotlight this
standing
source.
beside a person to encourage him when he's going through a very difficult time. One Bible scholar described comfort this way: the word always means
The
more than
video quality
soothing
is
sympathy.
ridiculous.
The Christian comfort is that which brings courage
Now what I do
and
is I
enables
remove
a man
him
to
from
cope
the stream.
with all that life
So I'm
can
just
do
going to pull
to
him
him.
back. Boom. And he's out.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool. The only thing strange was the letterboxing and pillar boxing for some reason.
That's
I'm not-
that's
what's
because
it-
I'm not in full screen.
Oh,
I think if I opened it full screen and shared, then it would work. I'll do it
Okay.
again.
okay.
Let me just do it again. Chrome tab, this, share,
He's always there, standing
full
beside
screen.
as a
Okay,
caring shepherd.
now you see.
There you go. Yeah.
It's big.
Looks good.
It's good.
Jehovah is my shepherd. I will lack nothing. So
I think
whatever
we better-
life throws at us,
Yeah.
in line
I
with
think
the
that's a
word of
solution.
comfort,
I think what we're saying is we can potentially have a browser-only solution even for the
I know.
AV operator.
This is ridiculous. Why do these stupid people just make their stuff open source? I swear. You know how much it would save our organization if you just guys did this open source? Stop thinking about yourselves. Think about us.
It's for a good
Um,
goal, man.
But I mean, honestly, it's in the browser, dude. So everything they're doing technically is in the browser. You can't
Yeah.
hide. You can't hide the code. The only thing you can hide is what you're doing on the server side. So the StreamYard, do they use MediaSoup? And googling StreamYard MediaSoup. Oh, it might be. We want to build a web app like StreamYard. Oh, interesting. Must include StreamYard. Yeah, I don't know
Mhm.
if they use it or not. Chrome, Janus, Firefox, 4 videos on the same browser. Yeah, we have to Google it. We just have to Google it and see.
Yeah.
StreamYard, how does it work? Okay, so StreamYard, the limits are 6 people in the stream. 10 people. Ah, this is extremely interesting, guys. Wow. Yeah, this is kind of eye-opening here. Look what they do. Sorry, I'm gonna try to just paste it here for you guys. This is what it says. So they limit. It allows 6 people in the stream and 10 people can enter the broadcast studio or green room. So that's the participants panel. Another app that we used yesterday called it the lobby, which I really like the word lobby. I think that's a good one. So the broadcast studio or green room, host and guests don't have to log in or provide a password. Instead, you send them a code via email to log in, which is more secure than a password. That's very interesting, eh? These people have it together, man. They've done a pretty stinking good job. I hate it.
And it's not Google, Alex. Oh man.
I
Yeah.
know. I mean,
But
they've
the-
done. It works on Mac. Do they have iOS devices, or is this only browser based? No, it's only
Yeah.
browser based.
No downloads. Runs in Chrome and Firefox.
Yeah, this is really, really, really good. Mac
I-
Catalina. Yeah,
I
you
wonder if
have
it works
to-
on mobile though. That would be interesting, like a mobile browser.
Let's do it. Here, I have it here. I sent you guys a link as a guest, right?
Yeah.
All right, here it is. All right, I'm entering the room as a mobile and allow mic and camera. To enter the studio, allow mic and camera. Allow. Okay, this is my iPhone. You type in your name, enter broadcast studio. This thing is just absolutely amazing.
It's crazy.
Are we good now or no?
Sounds
Can you hear me?
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so
You hear a
It
funny
said-
noise in my ear.
yeah, I know. It says this. It says this here. Sorry.
Oh wow, you can see us? We're backstage? Okay, maybe take the phone away.
So it says I'm backstage.
Yeah, which is what we all see. So you need to just put yourself live.
Yeah, that's it. But it's on my participant panel. It's on the bottom.
Right.
I just see myself on the bottom of all of it. That's super interesting. And then now I just boom, there it is. Now
That is cool.
everyone can see you and hear you.
Hmm.
I cannot share screen on a phone, which is understandable.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can on my iPad though.
No, well, tried, but I think Apple is like they've completely blocked the ability to share screen.
But man of little faith, let us see. Because on the iPad, the browser is just a browser now.
Right. It's a Safari browser though.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. You can join, but you must. No, you see it says, please host a broadcast from your laptop or desktop. It doesn't let me enter it at all.
Interesting.
But if I do it as a mobile, request mobile website, no, it still doesn't.
But how did you get your iPhone to work?
It just works on the phone. But it's probably Safari. Are you guys using Safari?
No, at the moment Chrome.
Yeah, I'm using Chrome too. Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, I think this is fantastic. This little program is really good. I'm going to spend some time trying to figure out exactly what they do, but I don't think it can get much better than this, honestly. I mean, it does everything we need. It does it super high quality. The screen sharing is good. So if you can, just dive deep into figuring out how they're doing this and then see what we can figure out. It just doesn't take away that we have to build an app, in my opinion. We potentially still can have to build an app. But in this case, maybe we don't need to do an app for right now. Potentially. Maybe because our goal was let's build everything into the web UI. And then port it over to Electron or Qt what you found or React Native or something. But we wanted to do it all in the browser first. But if we did this, maybe we don't, because this is pretty robust, man. It keeps the broadcast going. Even if I fall out, I can join back in. Say, I'm so sorry. Here I am back again. This is your screen. You're sharing your screen.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna tag it in.
that comes up to you as a source. Is that correct?
Yeah, it just pops up as a source.
Oh, that is really cool. That's really neat. Because that's the
Yeah.
problem that we were trying to figure out is like, how do you line up these things ahead of time and not just when you need it,
So this is our idea of having everything at the bottom. This is all because it's every participant, it shows up at the bottom now.
Mhm.
And then I can just take them when I want them. And your screens all show up at the bottom. So basically it is our pinned view. But it's their default view. They don't have everybody on the side. They just have everybody below. Which is an interesting idea. as people come in, they just come in as sources, which in the end is what you want.
Mm.
You just simply want them as sources. If you add to that the drag and drop feature, so you could your pinned section that you have at the bottom, you could technically have it to where, let me just kill this one. You could have your pinned section at the bottom, have it to where it's participants, and then you have like 4 rows, and then it just goes up and down, and then you have media with 2 inputs, and then you can change between media 1 or media 2, and then your camera, you could have 4, or you could have 8, or you could have 12, maybe, and just have them all lined up, because as they join the meeting, they're at the bottom, they're participants, and then you just take them, and then if they're done, you just you can order them as if you wanted to. Then you don't even have a participants panel on the right at all.
Mm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and as mm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to find out exactly why there's a limitation of only 6 or 10. Was it 10?
Yeah, I don't know. I have to read about that FAQ. How many people can I have on StreamYard? You can have 6 people in the stream. 10 people can enter. Up to 10 can enter the broadcast studio. So you can swap people in and out if you're doing a talk show.
Right.
So I bet you they do it because they show you everybody.
Mm.
So I can have 10 people. I wish I had more guys. So to see how it looks.
Mm.
Yeah, I need to set something up to where everybody can just jump in. Let me just do that real quick.
The department
Dass
meeting.
du das Gefühl hast, eine Stunde danach kitzelt das.
Let me just add people in here. Let me add a couple brothers here. Okay. It's not everybody, but it's enough for now. We'll probably get a few more. Yeah, I pinged like 4 or 5 guys to see if they can all join real quick. Let's see if anybody else is not super busy. You guys are already in here. Johnny, I already did. Chris, I did. Me, I did. Let me fill in Beanie. Okay, so I got Danny. I got Mundus. They just joined. So as they join, they line up at the bottom.
And the cool thing is none of us can see that. I think it's only you as the host can see it.
Yeah, and it's scrollable. It's scrollable. So I'm gonna add to stream.
Ciao.
Can you put them in an order? Alex?
No, I can't change the order.
Okay.
Hey,
How's it going?
good. Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, this is amazing.
I thought I might at least provide some cool ideas.
Yeah, this is very, very nice. It really is. It only allows 6 people in the room as a maximum, like in the actual conference, but you can have 10 people queued up, basically.
Mhm.
I'm going to bring out a couple of you guys and then add a couple of the other ones so they can see.
Hello,
Johnny.
morning. How are you? Pete?
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Morning.
I'm going to take you out, Ati. 1 second.
Whoa, what just happened to Johnny?
Execute the order.
Stupid.
65,
So
67.
this
one?
now I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I won't share audio. This allows you to share screen with audio. So it's not a Chrome limit. It's just applications either you do it or don't do it.
Oh, that's so meta.
Can you guys see it? Johnny, can you fix your camera? And Hossein too?
Okay.
I just don't want to distract what we're trying to figure out.
Is that,
So-
I don't know, mine's kind of weird right now.
Your camera?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Not sure what's happening.
So let's see here. You see this chat? this is the different views I have options to do. So now I have the option, I can just go to grid and then everybody goes to grid. Or I can add in the screen share. You know, it's just different views you can add. From here, I can spotlight a person. So like here in this thing, I solo layout is what they call it. So I can solo layout Chris, and then I can remove his solo layout and it just goes back. And you scroll between the feeds that you have. So like I have my camera, my second display as a source currently. And look at the video quality on this. And I'm also streaming it on YouTube, FYI.
For real?
Yeah, it's on YouTube right now live.
What?
So
How many
Yeah,
people
lead
are
with
watching?
that.
so look at the quality here. Oh, stink, wrong screen. Let me change this, remove it. Let me do the second screen, sorry. I won't do audio so it doesn't get loopy. Can you guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
How's the quality of it?
We're not
Pretty good.
getting.
No, I
Audio.
didn't do audio. I can do
sorry.
audio. I didn't want it to overwhelm the conversation, but I'll add audio.
Mhm.
Here's audio now. And then there it is.
I still don't hear it.
Oh, I muted him. Sorry.
And that tender mercies means to feel pity
Oh yeah,
and
thanks. Pretty good.
cares very
And then
much.
this is
And Jehovah
link
is
for
the
YouTube.
source of heartfelt
I
pity
just put it on the chat here.
and care. Now, just to illustrate that, let's open
Is
our Bibles
the
to
link.
Psalm 23 and look at verse 1. And notice how Jehovah is always there.
So I still have him as a source. So I'm gonna change my sharing to this screen. I still have him as a source. It's right here. I can still, that's my second screen, but I also have all of you guys. So every participant that joins just is a source for me to choose from. And then here it's just banners and silliness that I can do. I can just throw up a banner for whatever reason if I want one.
I'm sorry, but the first one's comments, and what's the second one?
Banners is what it says.
And then
Brand,
okay, and then
and then private chat.
and where's the sources? The people. They
Right
go
here.
to the bottom.
Yeah, everything that you pull in is a source. So, and I don't add them. Well, I do add them, but the moment like you guys accepted the link, they automatically populate here as sources that I can choose from.
Right. So this is not too different from what we already have. Just a lot cool. Just some layout options on
Exactly.
the
The
thing.
difference, I think the big difference is that you don't have a participants list. Your participants are automatically sources,
Right.
which is here. So you don't have them duplicated. And then the other thing that's amazing is they have all of these different options of mixing content. And we feel it's capturing the canvas here.
Yeah.
It's restreaming the canvas is what it seems like it's doing.
I think for sure it's doing that. That is why when I set my green screen, see that?
Yep.
There is a glitch from Chromium-based browsers in macOS. So if you're
Interesting.
streaming that glitch, you're definitely capturing it directly from your Chrome window.
Yeah. And I think it's the only way that they're able to mix. They're able to mix audios here. What's also crazy is I can leave this conference and it doesn't stop. I can jump out and it just takes you guys. It removes me as a source and then it goes back to grid view and the meeting continues, which is crazy. I can also go back and rejoin it. When you go in, it just says, it shows you your broadcast list, like, which ones you have, and then you can just jump back into the broadcast.
Yeah. And it doesn't interrupt the YouTube stream as well. That just carries on as normal.
Yeah, the streaming doesn't stop at all.
Can't stop. Don't stop.
So let me add in, I can only do 6 people. So I'll take out Jesus. I'll add in Abe. Let me see, can I take myself out?
Bye, Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can.
We've taken over.
This is much better as well.
But we cannot do that.
Without
Alex
Alex.
feels
I'm
like I'm
getting
able
taken
to
out
speak
next.
openly.
Definitely be Skype.
We're here to talk about Alex. Live on the internet.
About time.
The world needs to know.
It's a StreamYard.
Hello, Josue.
Oh, it's gone.
I took him out real quick. So, Josue, can you hear us? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear us? What's interesting is the people that are in the green room or in the lobby, which are basically not in the conference, they're here. They can still hear everything. They're just not in the actual stream. But he's listening to everything. Jesus is listening to everything. Danny and Ati can hear everything. They're just not allowed in. Very, very interesting.
Alex, but I don't think that it is actually streaming from your browser, because if you leave the conference and then it just keeps doing it.
It's not streaming from, like, they're obviously capturing this in the cloud and turning it into RTMP for YouTube.
No, but I mean, like if you're not streaming, so you said that if you leave the conference just continues.
Yeah.
Right? If it is doing it from your browser, if it is capturing the feeds from your browser and then sending them to WebRTC or whatever, then it will fail as soon as you leave.
I don't think so. I think it's capturing everybody's screen. And those are the sources that it's doing in the cloud. Because when I jump out, it continues and you guys are still in the meeting and it's still on YouTube.
But what you're saying, Alex, though, is that if you have one of the layouts that is more dynamic, if you leave, it goes back to grid.
I think so. Let's leave this now. I'm gonna leave grid here and I'm gonna step out. And
Close browser and everything.
I did. I left the studio. I closed the tab and I closed Chrome, and it didn't matter what I did. The conference didn't stop. So I'm just gonna leave right now and then join back up, and then just you guys have to watch to see what happens.
Yeah,
Abe, I do think it's sort of capturing the browser. Maybe it's like Alex says, it's capturing your own. Because see that glitch you're seeing? This is a glitch that I see all the time on Chrome things on my Mac. But it's being streamed. So it's not capturing the actual video source. This is a browser glitch that's happening on my Mac. And you guys are seeing the stream of it. If it wasn't capturing the browser, why would that glitch come up on your video?
So did it continue? Did the meeting continue?
Yeah, it did continue.
Yeah, but Mike, what I'm trying to say here is that maybe your glitch is not is not because it captures the browser feed, but it's just because of how the browser interprets your camera. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because that will be super hard in the CPU. So the browser grabs the feed from the camera, then it does something to it, and then it turns it into something else, and that is the thing that I capture.
Maybe. I know that this glitch, it's been annoying me. It happens on the entire window for me. And when I was looking it up, it's a GPU rasterization problem with Chrome. So it happens on the entire window, but you can only see it on my video because it's the only it's the only part that we're showing you. But you might be right. It might also be part of how the browser picks up the video. It's related to the GPU on this Mac though. And it's how it deals with the Chromium based applications. It happens with WhatsApp and Teams.
Should have got a Dell, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I mean,
I'm not
it
sure.
seems quite obvious that it's using
It
HTML.
just
I think.
fixed. Hossein, it just fixed itself.
Yeah, because as soon as I say I turn off the green screen, when I turn on the green screen, then I think it's because it's capturing the browser. As soon as I turn on the green screen, you guys can see the GPU rasterization issue. When I turn off the green screen and it's just straight video feed, it looks fine.
It's clean.
What do you mean green screen?
If you go to cam/mix settings at the bottom, there's a green screen panel. And it's supposed to create a green screen effect. Yeah, if you say none, it's off and it's the straight camera feed. But if you choose a picture to green screen yourself on, then I get the true rasterization issue.
Byron, what were you saying just a second ago?
Yeah, we're trying to just figure out how is this YouTube stream link happening, because it seems like they are using like HTML5 canvas abilities to do the animations and the crossover effects and the grid view layout, because that's simple to do. But how is it then capturing, if it's not capturing from your specific browser, you're saying then it's capturing everyone's browser element canvas, and then you've got, if one goes down, it seamlessly switches over to the other, which I think will be difficult to like synchronize that, the switch between one to the other.
Yeah, that has to happen on a server. Otherwise, how you ensure that once the user leaves the conference, the stream doesn't stop? That has to happen. Ensure that once.
Yeah, I don't know. The other thing that was interesting is when you're in Spotlight view, when you remove somebody from Spotlight, it removes their microphone. When you add them to Spotlight, it adds their microphone. When you're in this view, everybody's microphone can be on. But when it's only Spotlight, and you add people and take people off the stage, then it does mute them. Let's try that actually. Let's see if we can mute everybody. Hold on.
This is me speaking. Hello.
I'm talking as well. It says I'm in the show still.
Yeah,
because you're in the show still. That's what it is. So if I remove everybody from the stream, from the show, then they're not able. So Mundus, can you keep talking?
I can keep talking.
You cannot.
Blah blah blah. Hey, I'm back.
So yeah, the moment you like remove, what does it say? Remove from stream, then it mutes them. So everybody who's on the stream is muted.
From the messages, Alex, I think they are using also Media Soup or something like that, because those messages in the console are the same ones that happened with Media Soup.
I googled and I couldn't find them.
They seem to be pretty WebRTC generic, like a signaling IC candidate.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. They've done a good job of functionality, especially with like participants and stuff like that. You know, where you can have interviews and have a couple people on there, or you can mix your screen in addition to a brother talking. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They do have limits. Only 6 people can be in the stream, and only 10 people can be in the room total. You can't have more than 10, is what it says.
Oh, you know what? Then maybe they're using an MCU, because an MCU has that limitation as well. It can't process a lot at the same time.
And everyone dies at the end.
Not that MCU.
Bandwidth is taking up a big chunk. Right now it's at 4.5 megs with everybody watching.
So they're probably using GStreamer in the back end. That's doing the mixing for them.
Well, Media Soup has GStreamer as well.
Yeah, you can integrate Media Soup with GStreamer, and then you do mixing in the server side. But then you have the limitation where you can't have a lot of streams, CPU intensive.
Okay. All right, I'm going to kill it. I just wanted to show you guys, and I wanted to actually just test how many people we can stick in here and what it looks like. So basically it's 7 wide, and then I can't collapse this. No, it's just basically 7 wide, and then it starts just scrolling.
Can we do a small test, Alex?
Yeah.
In your screen, can you right-click in your name on the mix where it says Alex? If you right-click and do inspect element.
Inspect. Let me share my screen so you can actually see what I'm doing. So right-click here.
Yes. So right-click in your name where it says live in your thumbnail on the top. Here? I mean, right-click in your name in Alex.
Right here.
Yeah. Inspect element.
Did you guys see this? Each one of these is selectable. In the HTML, I can right click and then hit solo layout. I can go here and hit solo layout mic, remove from stream from here too. All right, Johnny, sorry, I was distracted.
Okay, now
I
it's
can't right click.
before sharing screen, it's possible to, because I'm curious if you change the text there, if it will reflect in YouTube, and that will confirm if it's using this as a source for the video, or it's doing this in the cloud, because the mix looks exactly the same as in your browser, but in your browser, if you guys inspect the mix, you will see that each one is a video element. It's not like a video mix that is coming from a server. It's building each video, it's building the HTML together and showing it to you. And at the same time, that is exactly what is shown in YouTube. So I'm curious if
What if I just change my name here, Johnny?
It's probably capturing like a browser that's on a server somewhere.
Yeah.
That's an invisible.
That's what we saw.
Like a headless Chrome or something, then it's just
Yeah.
streaming it.
That's what we saw Jitsi did.
Alex, can you click on the arrow next to in the top? Yeah, in that one, and then click on your name in the there.
There?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There you can in the right side you see how it says Alex? It's
No.
highlighted in blue. The left, top.
Here? Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, to rename that.
And then do
Okay. Does it show on YouTube? I don't know.
We had
And
to wait a little bit.
Click off. Click
hit
off.
enter. Enter.
Okay.
Oh, funny. It changed on yours. It just changed on one of them. Didn't change on mine. Is it restreaming it? YouTube?
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't change on the streaming video.
Okay. Yeah, so this confirms that in some place it's doing a mix exactly like it's happening in your browser, but in some place in the cloud.
Headless Chrome.
And if it is using
A Chrome with no head.
Chrome, it makes sense.
So let's do that one more time. Oh, I gotta meet. Sorry, I gotta jump out. But basically, this means that what they're doing is they're allowing the mixing to happen in your browser, and they have an invisible guest in the server, and they're capturing that Chrome-less browser and pushing it to YouTube. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Probably.
Like Josue said, it's the robot is the real host.
And that's basically the idea we had thought of for Jitsi. That's how Jitsi does it as well. If that's the case, then you don't even need a media soup.
Well, it still needs
You
something.
cannot
You still need
do
something to forward.
One at a time, right?
No, you still need something to do the forwarding. So for me to get your individual streams, you need something like MediaSoup in between to route them.
Okay. Abe?
Yeah, that we cannot hear you. You are too far from the mic.
Me?
Uh-huh.
I am too far from the microphone?
Yeah, you're not using your
Oh, it's not? Oh, I didn't know. So what were you gonna say?
that we couldn't hear you.
Oh.
So profound.
I know, that was something profound. No, my thing is, like what Byron said, is we still need media soup. Now, can you do media soup in combination with capturing a screen like this?
Yeah, I mean it's independent of MediaSoup. The actual screen capturing is just your web.
It's another socket. So you can have another pod spin up, and then that pod is your Chromeless, your headless Chrome window, and then that gets restreamed as a separate service. That's interesting.
But why would we want to do that?
Because otherwise, how do you do this?
We don't have mixing without that. Because what MediaSoup does, it just routes individual streams.
Uh-huh.
This allows us to mix the content and then it's just capturing whatever I'm displaying on the screen. It captures that as a participant.
Oh, okay. I see. So then, okay, so that's a feature that we want. Just for me to understand, because that is not what I had understood before.
What is that, Abe?
Mixing content like this.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there might be a need for it if you have to have multiple participants.
The thing is, I don't think we can do without it, because, for example, if you're thinking of a brother giving a talk and he wants to show an image, how do you have the image with the speaker's voice mixed together? There's always going to be some need for mixing. If we do complete routing, then it's I'm not sure how we can overlay things on the server side. It's got to be some mixing on the client side.
I have the impression that this gives us, if we do it like this, we have full control. We can do whatever we want.
Okay. Honestly, that simplifies it. That makes it simpler, because then we don't have to do any routing at all in the server.
I gotta go. See you guys.
That is-
You guys can keep talking, but I'm gonna stop
I'm out
the
too.
broadcast.
Ciao, amigos.
And then